there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Sunday the 26th of June. But first, a quick recap on yesterday's performance. Well, as you'll know, the pound each way Lucky 15 was absolutely dreadful, not a single one placed. And it also started slowly on the Lucky 63, the each way Lucky 63. But I think the first two went down, the next one was a non-runner, and the next three placed. And if you actually go and watch the race, if you didn't watch it already, all three of those big priced placed horses, all, in my opinion, should have won. Take a look at the races and make your own opinion. But anyway, it's gone now. So today's selections will be a 25 pence each way Lucky 31. But as I'll show you in a minute, I've also had 25 pence each way doubles and 25 pence each way trebles. I believe the bet comes to £25.50. So let's get into it. The first selection is Bright Sunbird at 4 to 1 in the 2 o'clock at Uttoxeter, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse will come over from Ireland and it's trained by Gary Hanmer. I don't think the sharp track at Bangor suited it last time, and front running tactics should ask a few questions of the other one. It's not a strong race, and I think this horse will have to improve a little bit, but I do think it will improve by going for a slight, well, it's only extra half a furlong, but this slightly stiffer track should suit it. And I think there's a few question marks over the other horses, and I think it should minimum run a place. The second selection is Platinum Card at 5 to 2. In the 220 at Cartmel, paying 4 places instead of 3. Well, this horse could be an absolute handicap snip. Gordon Elliott sent it over. It ran, was it Ascot? Obviously, I'm going through memory. I looked at, I think it was at Ascot the other day. It ran a decent race. I'm a little bit concerned. I always prefer when horses are stepped up in trip from the distance that they that they run on the flat. I think it was over 2 mile last time, and this is only a fraction above 2 mile. But it has shown plenty of form over 1 mile and 2, 1 mile and 4. So that's what I'm happy at that. It's only had 5 runs over hurdles, 3 for Keith Dalglish, and 2 for Gordon Elliott. Well, I do think it will improve rapidly, and I do think this race with a big prizeman at stake, I do think Gordon Elliott, out of all his horses that he could have sent, this is a very interesting one, and I do think it should be able to, bearing in mind it's receiving weight off of virtually all the horses, it should be able to win this race. 5 to 2 is a skinny price, obviously, for each way, but I do think this horse will win. The third selection is Sir Robbie at 12 to 1 in the 3 o'clock at Uttoxeter, paying 6 places instead of 4. This horse has got decentish form a while back for, I believe it was Harry Whittington. It's run plenty of times at Uttoxeter for Harry Whittington, but not so much for David Bridgewater. David Bridgewater is very good at getting horses ready to win decent prizes. He has had, I think it's a couple at least, Cheltenham winners, and I think this horse has been aimed at this race for a long time. My only concern, and it's always it's a daft concern really, I would have preferred it to run last time over chase fences. It's been run over hurdles for about the last dozen runs now, and I'm always a bit concerned. I know it's going to be well scored, that it's going to go to the race course thinking it's over hurdles again, and it might catch it out. So once it's jumped the first 3, I'll be absolutely fine. I believe it's got Lily Pinchin on board, which is, yeah, I'm fine with that. Decent jockey, and yeah, I think it's going to run a good race, and I do think it's got a cracking handicap mark to run off. The fourth selection is Donna Italiana at 12 to 1 in the 425 at Windsor. This is only paying 3 places. This horse was very unruly in its race last time, in its only race. It was a huge price. It came there quite promising in a race much better than this maiden today, or this novice today. The favourite is okay, but it's won a race and it's been penalised, so it's got a penalty. It could leave it susceptible, and I do think this horse is the 3rd best horse in the race, and I do think there's massive improvement to come. It's by Tom Ward. He's not really prolific with he's not prolific with first time out runners. I do think this horse will progress from its first run, and I think it's got a cracking chance of at least coming in the places, if not even winning. And the 5th selection is another Tom Ward horse. Tom Ward's horses are running to form. Out of its last, I think it's 7 runners, no horse has finished worse than 5th. The horse is Majestic Tejan at 10-1 in the 4:55 at Windsor. I think it's got a cracking chance of placing. It is well handicapped, and I think it's got a cracking chance. Before you back the horses, feel free to have a look at the form yourself, but fingers crossed for a better stroke of luck anyway. The very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.